Hello, hockey, basketball, and soccer fans. My name is David. Thought I would start this video a bit after 8:15 on the evening of Friday, 24th of November, 2023, Eastern Time. Certainly going to be a busy night. It's certainly been a busy Thanksgiving Day, American Thanksgiving Day, whatever, Eastern Time games, or at least maybe Thanksgiving weekend, second day of Thanksgiving weekend, whatever. Earlier in the day, the Oilers beat the Caps 5-0. Cavs beat the Sharks in a shootout 3-2. Let's see here. Games to be played by the Flames. Flames and Canucks are expected to come later, although the Sens and Jets are in action among Canadian NHL NBA teams. Raptors are in action. To be determined how that game is going to go. But this is about the Leafs. There's no reason why the Leafs cannot repeat a lot of the good aspects of the Oilers' shutout win over the Capitals. Instead, very interesting claim made on the late Thursday, early Friday Eastern Time episode of the Locked On Leafs podcast, part of the Locked On Sports series of podcasts via the Locked On NHL series of pods, by Mike DiStefano, a former co-host of Leafs Lunch on Toronto's TSN 1050 radio. Interesting claim about how the Leafs should, I forget what it exactly is, I have to look it up. But in my view, the Leafs should have been much more easily able to beat the Blackhawks. But that didn't happen. I was concerned. I expressed my concern in that comment that the Leafs would not take this Blackhawks seriously, and we thought, we can play down to them and we'll win. That did not happen. Instead, the Leafs thought they could just piss the game away and end up losing it. Well, the Leafs, last weekend and on Monday Eastern Time, the Oilers blew in each of those games in Florida multiple leads. So what did the Leafs do? Play like the Oilers and think they win. That did not happen. Well, we also have not really an assist from any member of the core four, not even a point. Leafs, won almost 60% of the face-offs, outshot the Blackhawks 37-34. There was no special teams goal, but the Leafs really needed to not sit back and hope for the best. Building up a 3-1 lead by the end of the second period. Instead, pissed it away, late in overtime. Connor Bedard assisting on that goal. Ilya Samsonov, even if that game-winning goal was not ugly, allowed 3 ugly goals. It is simply time, Brad Treliving, to waive Samsonov and call up Dennis Hildeby or Martin Jones from the Toronto Marlies. You've seen plenty of evidence, Brad, that Samsonov is not capable of being an NHL caliber goalie. Samsonov had a particularly bad game, but he needed to be much better. Defense also under the bus. John Klingberg's on LTIR. There's no excuse to not make some changes, even if you don't plan to use, Brad, whatever cap space the Leafs have left. It's time to waive Samsonov. Ryan Reeves maybe is worth another shot, but still, I was worried about Sheldon Keefe having put Ryan Reeves in. Reeves surprisingly did quite well, scoring a goal. Didn't think that would happen, but of course, whether Reeves can sustain that, we'll have to see. Leafs need to get ready, and Brad Treliving, it's up to you to equip that team with the blue line help that it needs. It so desperately needs to win games. This game against the Blackhawks should have been a winnable one. The Leafs should have won that game. But they didn't show me of the deserving to win that game. So what's happened here? Or I'm just going to figure out what to do with the TV there in a moment. But the fact that the GM had better be on the phone with different teams to find out of upgrades to defense being available. I hope that. I also hope that Sheldon Keefe and the coaching staff bring in for each subsequent practice military-style boot camp training regimen. I'm serious. That's what should happen. And those players who slack off team meetings or practices should have to perform multiple push-ups at a time. That's what happens in a lot of in the military, at least in the Western and Westernized armies. I'm probably going to do is, I plan to momentarily, as soon as possible, tweet some links to how various police, various law enforcement, and military agencies train their recruits. And I believe quite strongly, Sheldon Keefe, pay close attention. You can get your inspiration from those. Get real angry, because you need to be. The Leafs was totally unacceptable, and I hope that you impress upon each and every one of those players, if you haven't already, that Saturday, winning that game is critical. The Leafs cannot afford to take another day off. It is time to win games. The Leafs are barely in the playoff spot as it stands. I don't care what pundits are saying, oh, Leafs have a 90% chance or so of seeing playoff action. I see the Leafs as having a 50-50 chance of seeing playoff action. That's because the Leafs are barely in a playoff spot as things stand. Who knows how long the Leafs will be able to stay up if they don't win their next game or the game after that. The Leafs pissed away points earlier in the month because they didn't play that well defensively. They cannot afford to piss away more, at least until they end up at least 10 points above the highest ranked non-playoff team in the Eastern Conference. Until that time comes, it needs foot on the gas each and every time and win every single game. Will that happen? I don't know, but that's what the Leafs are going to have to do until, at the very least, they get to 10 points above and continue to do so. The Leafs need to push themselves. It's not good enough to go for a wildcard spot. Yes, the Panthers went on a Cinderella run, but I also want to present the Winnipeg Jets last season tumbled into a wildcard spot from a top 3 divisional one. Guess what happened to those? Get happened to the Jets. Well, surprisingly, they managed to win the first game of that April playoff series against the Golden Knights, but didn't win any of the others. The Jets ended up allowing 3 or more goals in each of the final 4 games of that playoff series. Golden Knights win. The Jets were done. With the Peg City Hockey YouTube man having claimed that the loss of Game 5 of that playoff series had been, quote, poetic justice. Well, the Leafs loss to the Blackhawks in overtime was another form of that. About a team that was rusty, defensively unsound, and Samsonov, time for living to waive him. There's no excuse anymore. And again, and if you don't waive Samsonov, Mr. Treliving, you'll be as dumb as a doorknob. Look at the body of evidence. You've seen his inconsistency. This inconsistency cost the Leafs a game. The Leafs did throw defense under the bus. And that's another thing, Trash Treliving, you need to fix. Your offseason acquisitions too often haven't worked out. John Klingberg's on LTR. But also, the change of the roster is necessary so that the Leafs can, never mind going for a long playoff run. There's no guarantee the Leafs are even going to be in a playoff spot. So, I've got a message for you, Brad. Get on the phones and do that. Waive Samsonov, which would be your, a big priority for you to do. I don't see why you can't bring up Dennis Hildeblee for the Saturday game. I mean, he's not. He's in Pittsburgh after all. Worst case scenario, the Leafs will be in California, whatever. Mars will be in California, whatever. I don't know. Anyway, if you If you do like the video, uh, um, please make sure to click that like button. It is optional, however, to do so. If you want to subscribe to my channel, please feel free to do so. If you click the notification bell, you'll you'll receive more time notification of videos that I put out. I try to put out videos at least every other week. On that note, I'm going to say, go Leafs go Raptors go Toronto FC go, and with respect to other Canadian national teams for which I cheer, whether hockey, basketball, soccer, or others, go Canada go.